Hey everybody, this is Josh with ASA. We are on location today, somewhere special, with a special guest, Travis T-Bone Turner. Travis, I'll let you explain where we're at.
Well, we're down in the dungeon, I guess. We're just off to the side of the dojo, and I guess this is my little low ceiling man cave.
This room is one I was here for the first time in October, and when I walked in here, it brought a whole new definition to the term bone collector.
Yeah, you got to have a place to put all this stuff, and we just thought that we would collect it all in here. It's a great place to watch UFC fights and college football, and yeah, we have a good time with it down here. So it's kind of a special place, and in this summer Georgia heat, it's nice to be in here and with the air conditioner pumping.
Yeah, it's really nice in here this morning, and one of the reasons that I wanted to chat with you specifically was just the conversations we had, your love for competition archery and media. You said you watch pretty much anything that's broadcast archery related, you watch it.
Yep.
You've competed.
Yep.
And now we've got the Bowhunter Games, a new event for ASA coming up in August, and you have quite an interest in that combining the hunting world and the competition world.
Oh yeah, I think it's fantastic. Actually, it just opens up to to everybody basically. It's a well, I'm gonna say it. It's a redneck pep rally basically. Yeah. It's bringing everybody that pulls a string and slings an arrow to one place to watch their highest end competitors, but yet they can fling arrows and have a good time and go through the woods and shoot some great hunting scenarios. No pressure whatsoever. Just everybody like-minded that loves hunting, that loves the outdoors, and even likes competition. There's something for everybody there. And from what I understand, some pretty good music too.
Pretty good music, pretty good prize money.
Yep. We'll
talk more about Bowhunter Games in just a little bit, but for those, especially on the ASA or competition archery side of things that are newer to the game, tell us a little bit about your background and why competition archery means so much.
Yeah, I mean, probably a lot of people don't even know this, especially some newborns. But way back in the day, from about 1988 to probably the early 2000s, I shot the ASA. I didn't miss very many at all, especially in the early days. And actually, I was fortunate enough in 1991 to win the World Championship. It wasn't labeled ASA then. It was just before the tour started. It was just one big monster world championship that we had put on by Wayne Pearson when Wayne Pearson had the ASA and/or the Outdoor Bowhunter Championship is what it was called. But yeah, I got lucky, and I guess I pulled a Nancy Kerrigan and went through there and cut some strings and blind hog found an acorn, and I won in 1991, and then made a few podiums after that and placed in the top 10, but I'd like to think that I was kind of a threat. If nothing else, I maybe gave a few people a chuckle, out on the range for sure. But yeah, no, between, IBO, ASA, even back then, the Cabela's had a tournament. So the North American Bowhunters Championship, I was a part of that. And I didn't really miss many 3D archery tournaments locally or, nationwide. I started off sponsored by Browning. I was on their factory team with Jesse Moorhead. I mean, if anybody's been a string, they know who Jesse Moorhead is. And then went to PSC in 94 and 95 and part of 96. And then actually since, I think it was about May or June of 96, I've been with Hoyt ever since. So around 2000, I had my own shop and graduated over to on camera, doing a lot of stuff with Realtree, and then of course we started Bone Collector, our TV show, in 2007. So I tell everybody I didn't really quit archery. I just transferred from foam, switched more over to fur in the early 2000s. And but no, I've always had. We got targets out here. We always have weekly little competitions here at my house, and we absolutely love anything that has to do with archery, whether it's traditional, primitive, crossbows, compound bows. You can't get enough of it. I'm just a lifelong fan. Yeah, and in fact, when we built this house in 2008, my wife, I had sold my store, and I had to make sure that the house was 75 foot long so that we could have an indoor range. And then she said, "You sold your store, why are you building this shop in the basement?" I said, "Honey," I said, "even if I dip septic tanks for a living, I'm going to be doing something on archery." Yeah. So I made sure that we had an archery. My likes overseeded what the needed for the house, so to speak. So I was in charge of the design in the basement, I guess you can tell. So I just love archery. Watch all the shoots. I'm just a huge fan. I mean, I get to tensing up in there and feeling those emotions. You're out on an island and you're trying to shoot for a 14 and stuff. So I'm a lifelong fan.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that, because I think you have a unique perspective in the fact that you were around in the late 80s, early 90s competing. You still watch it, so you're still very much involved. I mean, when I talk to you, you have as much knowledge about it as I think anyone I talk to. What changes have you seen in the last 30, 35 years in the competition world?
Throughout the 90s, I don't remember the year that it transitioned, but there was no rangefinders ever that could be used. It was all unknown because we wanted it to be as close to hunting as possible, so a hunting scenario. I always tell people, going to shoot an archery tournament's like going to shoot 20 critters and not have to field dress and get your hands bloody not one time. So it's a lot like that. You walk out there, it's a real close simulation to golf. You have to suppress your nervous energy. You have to know how the undulation of the land, the yardage judging, the shadows, all of that comes into play. But the biggest thing is suppressing your nervous energy because, like when you're a basketball player, you want that adrenaline rush. You want that, when you're trying to be the best at your certain sports. But you need to suppress that nervous energy, especially when you're in a shoot down. So, there was a hunting situation, and now I'm a fan of them having known distance because that there's more classes. Therefore, some people aren't good at that, and some people like to know the distance, where all they have to focus on is a good, solid, accurate shot. I think if you just wanted to, you have to have skills as judging yardage and be accurate for that one thing. But it certainly tells you who is the most accurate for a known distance, and it invites more people to competition, and it invites more people to feel like they can compete and or more people just to show up and be a part of ASA. So that's one of the changes. There was no 14 ring whenever I was doing it, and we didn't have an upper 12. Actually, the tournament that I won the world championship was the first tournament ever with a 12 ring. Is that year that they had it, and it was dead center at 6 o'clock. It wasn't off to the side.
Okay.
So in our heads, as we're going out there as shooters, we're thinking, well, let me see, a 480 is what I can have. So after 40 targets, I had shot a 402. And I thought, man, I stunk it up today. Because you don't really know what other people had done. And you're like, a 480 is tops. And we're used to a 400 being tops. So if you shot a 400, that was good. But a 402 out of 480, that didn't sound too good for the first tournament. You didn't realize.
Right.
And then our distances were out to 60 unknown, 60 or 65. So I come off with a 402, and then word started talking. Yeah, you're leading it. You're leading it. And there was no shoot down, and it was you had to get used to what the highest could be. So a 402 out of 480 apparently was pretty good. So
pretty good.
Yeah, it did pretty good. But those are the biggest changes. And then I love the way that the archery coverage. Back then we was on ESPN and had non-endemics, and then now knowing that it seems to be right now most internal outdoor industry type partnerships and sponsorships, but the coverage is good. That's just advanced technology that we have between phones and all the quick applications to Facebook. There was no Facebook, there was no social media. Now we got YouTube, we got Facebook, we got coverage on Sportsman's Channel, and it's then instantaneous. Right. So you don't have to wait 30 days for a printout to come of how you did in the shoot. Yeah. So it's nice that it's instantaneous, and to have that coverage. I look forward to it. I see when the shoots are, and I carve out me about 4 or 5 hours on a Saturday afternoon to make sure that I'm watching that. And it's not the same watching it the next day. No. To me it's not, because I kind of already know, because you're messing around on social media. I want to see it live. I want to see the strategy and stuff like that. And because I do come from a tournament background, I put myself in those spots, to feel that way. And it's pretty nice.
So let's talk about, so you said mostly inside sponsorship. We'll just say all of it.
Yeah.
is really where sponsorship comes from. If I can ask, do you remember what you won back in, was it 93, 91?
Yeah, in 91, my first place was roughly $4,200, $42 or $4,300, which that's just from the tournament. Right. And then there was some contingency money, nowhere near like the contingency money now. But shortly thereafter that, from 93, once we started a tour where you had, I think it was 6 tournaments, and then there was no entry fee if you qualified for the world. And then the World Championship won somewhere between $25,000 and $40,000 from the tournament. And then Shooter of the Year won $50,000 there for a short stint from like 93 to about 98. The prize money was really, really huge. But that was because of non-endemics being on ESPN, you know, that brought in that type of money. So, yeah, that was the heyday, so to speak. Now, the contingency money wasn't nowhere near like it is now, but that's the way the tournament money went.
I get told a lot, you need to make it like it was in the 90s, which I understand the mentality behind that.
Yeah.
But I also look at it and was like, well, that wasn't sustainable. And the non-endemics didn't come back.
Correct.
So, yes, I want to get back to the financial side of that. But we've got to structure things a little differently so that it's not just a 3 or 4 year windfall and then we're back in the same boat. It's interesting.
And with ESPN covering it, when they decided not to cover competition archery, because it's hard, I mean, it was hard to have shooting animals and be entertaining and keep the numbers what it was on ESPN, so that's why it did go down. But we have, I think, a little better acceptance of that because you see so much stuff on social media and stuff. So I think it can be done now, especially if we can incorporate some non-endemics for sure.
And it doesn't necessarily, people are like, well, it'll never be on ESPN. And that's probably a true statement. And part of the Disney Corporation.
Doesn't have to be, though.
It doesn't have to be. In the world that we live in, streaming, I mean, there's a reason that mainstream sports are going to streaming now and looking at that. So I think that's a huge opportunity for the archery industry to capitalize on. We now have more open access to get this content out.
Yeah.
And so we have to make it viewable and have fun that way. So, so competing in the 90s, you saw the money. You're still watching it today. There's a lot of people out there that they can tell me all that's wrong with archery and why competition archery media is where it's at. They can tell me everything that I'm going to try is not going to work, but nobody has well, that's a good idea, or hey, try this, or it's one of those things. It's like everything seems so negative about it. I'm relatively new. I've been involved 10 years through media and my daughter shooting. Owned ASA now, we're in 5.5 years, and what I'm telling everybody is I don't have all the answers, but I want to try things. If it doesn't work, my commitment is we'll try something else next year.
Yeah.
So if you could, with 35 plus years experience, if you could give me one piece of advice on changing the competitive scene, what would it be? That's a big question.
It is a big question. I think I like your look into and you're wanting to change things, because that's the right attitude to have about that. You're from what little bit I know of you and the time we've spent and the conversations we've had, you seem to be a sponge, and you seem to be excited and you have a passion for this. So I think that's going to serve you extremely well. The folks need to have patience, and they need to have an open-minded to where they need to understand that this is the best game going for a competitive archer, and they need to support that 100% from the ground up. I mean, it's easy to complain, but you got to understand, if it goes away, if there's not there, then you don't have nothing. So you need to support and not beat down doors, but give constructive criticism, not just negatively pounding. I think from our conversations, the non-endemics is I think it's been looked at and it's been wished upon, but it takes you got to really grind to get that. And once one's on board or two's on board, then the door is going to be open for a lot more. I think it's going to be a lot easier sell once you see the success in the numbers and stuff like that. So that's where this Bowhunter games comes into, because it's for everybody. You know what I mean? It's for just pure pleasure. It's just for shooting critters and fellowshipping and camaraderie with other like-minded individuals. And then you still have the competition too. So you can see and witness the best of the best competing for large money. Yeah. So it's everything. It's an umbrella, and it encapsulates everything that we all love about archery. So, folks need to be patient. You have the foresight. You have the what you're wanting to do, and we hope that, and I think that all of archery from the manufacturer standpoint and the competitor standpoint will follow right along, because it's good for all of us, even if we do have non-endemics. I mean, the more people that are flinging bows and are talking positively about bows and seeing the competitions, the more eyeballs and impressions you're making. How can that be negative for archery? So yeah, if we can just get a few non-endemics, which I know that you want that, and I do too, scoring wise, and no matter how you score, how you set the targets, we talk about it. You got people that grumble, I couldn't see that target, or that target's too long. Everybody's got to shoot the same thing, and if you know what you're going into, you got to prepare for that. Yeah. I mean, golfers have to do that on. I hate that course. Well, you might not going to win this time. Right. But you got a better chance at this another one that we're going to. Yeah. So everybody's got to shoot the same thing. If you got a 14 up there, you got that choice. It's nice to have a 3-point shot. Whereas if you can't make up no ground, right, you're definitely out of it. So it's nice to have something that, if you throw a Hail Mary and hit it, you are the man or the woman. Right. So no, I think this opens it up for everybody. I questioned early on about, we only had 9 classes when I was shooting. There was very few, but now I don't know how many classes there are, but there's at least double that. 53? Yeah. 48 classes. There's a lot. So we cut a few out. Yeah, there's a lot of classes, and I was like, golly, it's just spreading it so thin. But there's something for everybody, and those classes have, it should be a minimum that they have so many competitors in there, or you do away with the class. And I think that's what you do, but there's something for everybody, because there's all types of disciplines and there's all types of age limits, no different than having different tees, at a golf course and stuff. So I was questioning that when that all got changed around, but that's been 15, 20 years ago. But as we've added classes, it's worked. It's worked for everybody. So everybody, that's the way the Bowhunter games is going to do good, is because you get to go shoot and see how you would do against other people, but you're not necessarily competing. You're just out there having fun. Whereas I think a lot of people, before, when we only had a few classes, it's intimidating. It's intimidating. Whereas now there's so many classes, it's like they've got something for me. Right. So yeah, that's not a lot I would change, but yeah, the non-endemics would be, I think, I don't see any negative to that whatsoever. Yeah. Yeah, we're making some really good headway there, and we've got some exciting stuff coming out this summer on that front. So yeah. So the Bowhunter games, you've kind of talked, and maybe some of the audience, they don't even know what we're referring to. So I'll give you a snapshot. You and I talked about it, and you were one of the first calls. So Scott and I, we went to Clarksville looking at a potential pro-am site. Drove around. I knew instantly, never worked for a pro-am. So we finished the day being polite to the landowners. We got in the truck. Scott's like, do you want the good news or the bad news? And I always tell him, start with the bad news, make me happy at the end, right? And he's like, this site will never work for a pro-am. I'm like, I know. And I said, what's the good news? He said, well, it's an amazing site. And so that's when we started talking about we had been brainstorming this. I mean, the Bowhunter shoot started before Scott and I even. I mean, it was Don and Mike had talked about it. Don's the previous tournament director, Don Bailey, and he wanted to do something. And so I remember Don. This site, we just started talking about it, and I had kind of formulated a lot of thoughts and did a brain dump on Scott and the landowner at the time, and I think Scott was smiling but a little scared, and I think he's still a little scared. It's a lot of work. Yeah. But it was quickly after that. I mean, he had mentioned knowing you for years, and I said, I want to talk to T-Bone, and for the reasons that we've just explained. You're in the hunting world, and I look at Bowhunter games, and this is where I think the manufacturers should get excited. There's 6.5 million archery licenses sold a year. Yep. Let's say half of those are crossbow. Yeah. Probably not that high, but let's say it's half. Well, that's still 3.2 million bows going out the door, right? That for just a standard vertical bow. At least. Some of the guys I know buy 2 a year. Right. And so you look at the Bowhunter games, it just makes sense. If more people are shooting that, let's get rid of the barrier of entry. Make it where they can bring that bow that they bought to shoot in the backyard or go hunting. We do, if it's just a backyard shooter, Bowhunter games is for you. We're going to have so many, we got 14 courses that are going to be set up from anywhere for kids and seniors. We'll have 30-yard max courses out to the Delta McKenzie Western Range, which is going to have 100-plus yard targets. We'll have the moose and the elk and everything out there. It's in this beautiful valley. So there is something for everybody. That's the whole thought behind this was let's lower the barrier of entry, get people out. And then on the competitive side, build something that's spectator-friendly. Shootdown's going to be totally different. Yep. And I don't know if I talked to you much about that, but we did a little on our initial, but since then we haven't got a. Well, since then we've changed it a little bit. So
well, let's talk about the qualifying for the money classes, because there are money classes for, it's open, so men or women can sign up for that one. 60,000, 30,000, 15,000 first, second, and third. Women's class, 40, 20, and 10 first, second, and third. They'll shoot 30 targets a day. Top 10 will qualify for the shoot down. Now, so the courses will be set up very much like an ASA. There's just road down the middle with lanes going off, so you won't do the miles of walking. However, outside of that center road, nothing resembles an ASA range.
Yeah.
ASA is historically known for the flat fairway shots, right? Not this one. They actually call it the Valley of Death. And I'm not sure that there are any targets that will be level. Scott's over there. He's nodding his head. He showed me one. When we went back in January, I rode around with him and the landowner. And I kind of laid out my vision for what I wanted to see down there. And I was like, man, if they accomplish 60% of that, this is going to be awesome. And we were back about a month ago, and I jumped on a side-by-side and went down there with Joey from Pine Ridge and Scott. And we're walking, and Scott's he's there beaming. And, they had staked every stake and put a ribbon where the targets would be. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, 60%. This is 110% of what I wanted. I mean, I told you earlier, there's one target, it's 67 yards. And I bet the last 30 yards is a 30-plus degree incline. Yeah. Up into dark. I mean, so it'll be challenging both in archery, physically, mentally. I mean, they are true. I don't want to use the word pros because we're not doing pros. They're money classes, but they're professional level courses. Yes. But that anybody can go and have fun shooting. I mean, the shots are going to be so much fun. And so we'll take the top 10 out of those. You shoot 30 targets. Top 10 from each class go shoot down.
And potentially stuff you could see in a hunting situation.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Especially, that western range I think is super cool because you'll have 80, 90-yard elk. Yeah. And you'll have some that we stretch beyond probably what you would shoot at hunting. Yeah. But it's for fun.
And we've seen that'll work in other venues. Yeah. I mean, it works.
Let's go fling arrows.
And
so the top 10 will go into the shoot-off. And the shoot-off is going to start in the vendor village, and it's actually going to be a 5-target course. So they'll weave their way kind of around the vendor village to where the first 4 targets, and you'll have field target, tree line targets in the timbers, open prairie shot, and then target 5, you actually go up over a hill, down into a natural amphitheater. There'll be a concert going on during the shoot down. So if you're used to everybody sit there and don't make a noise, you're going to be in for a different shoot down experience.
This will be the 16th hole at the Phoenix Open.
Right, that's what I said. The Waste Management Classic, that's what we want.
That's right.
But you'll come into the amphitheater and walk down, and the last time we were there, I'll give Scott, I'm going to blame this on Scott. I don't know whose idea it was, but we'll blame it on Scott. So target 5, the last target, walk out onto a pier, and the stake will be at the end of a pier on this pond, and you'll be shooting just over 60 yards across the pond to a special target coming out of the water. And, with the full amphitheater behind you, and it'll follow a golf format. So 9 and 10 are going to start on target 5. They'll go out and progress around. And while they're doing that, we're going to film it very much like golf. So we'll have time delays. So, say the 10th place guy or girl is at the pier, and the 4th place shooter shoots a 14 back on target 1, we can jump back and forth, and we'll commentate that very similar to golf. Yeah. And so
I wonder how many of the guys have ever shot to Welcome to the Jungle being played.
Right. So, I mean, and we want that night to be a party. Yeah. And that's for us, and I think I communicated this the first time we talked, what I really wanted, I wanted the party that we talked about. Yeah. Everybody if you like archery at all, whether it's hunting, target shooting, just going down to your local range, we've got something that you're going to love to do, whether you're trad bow, longbow, whatever, bring what you have. And we've got courses for you. There's going to be, my estimation is 100 to 110 vendors on site for a big bow hunting expo right at the beginning of the season, kind of kick it off. Concerts every night, food trucks, novelty shoots. We're going to do a night shoot under black lights. We've got steel targets that people can shoot. So just have fun, get that crowd there. And so, that's the TAC crowd. The people, they just want to go, you and I want to go and trash talk, shoot our bows, have a lot of fun, but then build a spectator-friendly shoot down to get all those people, because that's, I was telling you earlier, to me, that's the key is archery's kind of miserable to watch unless you're a diehard.
Yeah.
Unless you're T-bone,
Yeah.
you're not carving out 4 or 5. Most people aren't.
Yeah.
How do you make that exciting? And then how do you have spectators there? And so it was combining those two things, throwing the party.
Yeah, and it's the right people to be spectators because, you know, they're maybe intimidated about being a competitor,
Right.
but this, they can see it live firsthand,
Right.
not just maybe 1 or 2 shots on social
Yeah.
media. It's like they can feel the energy
Right.
and they can feel the tenseness.
And you can see how freaking good people like Kyle Douglas are at
Yeah,
shooting their bows.
exactly.
You know, watching it on TV and then actually seeing the shot that
Now,
these
will the-
people are making.
I had a question. Will the money class have be able to use rangefinders?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
all known.
Yeah, just so it'll be just like a hunting situation.
Yep.
You have your rangefinder, and then people need to realize that too. You know, I can't reiterate enough that, you know, everybody has to shoot the same targets, and everybody has the same advantages. So, you know, you shouldn't let it be intimidated. If you shoot a good stick, there's no reason why you shouldn't get involved and just see where you stack up. And I'm talking to some of the pros, you know, that may place in, you know, off the podium or whatever. Don't be intimidated. This may be just right up your alley.
Right.
Because you know, if I'm not mistaken, there's our restrictions on the bows and stuff, and the way the accessories are set up to where it's more of a bow hunting
we
feel.
wanted it to be a bow hunting style setup. So 35-inch axle to axle. There is one caveat to that. When I stepped out earlier, Jason from Darton was calling from Tech, and some of the guys were like, my bow measures 35 1/4. I'm not eligible to shoot that. I don't have a bow. As long as it's a manufacturer listed 35-inch axle to axle bow. We realize that, you know, there's a handful of bows out there. They might measure 35 1/2, 35 1/4. We're not going to have you twisting cables to get that thing down to 35. If the manufacturer says a 35-inch bow, it's legal. We've got short stabilizers. When I say short, we did 18 inches on the front. And you can use a movable sight, single pin, multiple pin, but no lenses. You can use clarifier, verifier, because I know people, as we age, you know, sometimes you need to put those in just to see your pins. I'm getting in that boat. And we did a 246 hunting diameter, and max diameter is 246, arrow screw-in points, and we did a drop away rest, and that's something there's been some confusion, so I want to hit that. As long as it's a limb-driven or cable-driven rest, it's fine. You know, there was some questions. I know AAE, Hamsky, they both make one that have metal blades. Initially, Scott was like, no metal blades, stick to poly. We're scrapping that, keep it simple. The whole thing behind this is simple. So as long as it's a drop away, limb-driven or cable-driven drop away, or a fully enclosed. Somebody wants to show up with a whisker biscuit.
I was going to say, let's don't exclude the whisker biscuit crowd.
The fully enclosed, that's totally fine too. Really what we want to get away from there is the target rest.
Yeah.
And I know there's exceptions. People are like, well, I hunt with that. Okay.
Yeah.
If you have that rest, if that's the one you hunt with, you have probably access to more than one, because you're more than likely a tournament shooter at that point and can swap them out. So yeah, we wanted to keep it real simple. The rolls, one of the things that comes up is, well, we need a full rolls. Listen, the full rolls is out there. Yes, it's only 2 pages. It's on bowhunter.games, the website. We'll make sure it's in the description of this video. If you're shooting the fun classes, bring whatever you want. The only restriction we have there, you asked about it earlier, is crossbows. And for year one, we're not going to do crossbows.
Yep.
We didn't know how many people were going to show up, how we could do ranges. As soon as you introduce crossbows, the safety distance changes. You know, and we need more space, and we didn't know how we would incorporate that year one.
So it's not an exclusion; it's just a filling out the first year.
Right. Yep. To make sure that we can safely include that stuff.
Right.
And so you come to
the
the fun
speed limit
classes,
for the money division?
For the money class, that is 330 feet per second.
Wow.
And the only reason we talked about not doing any, but again, it becomes a safety issue.
Yeah.
You get above that, where's that arrow going to go? A lot of people that are shooting faster than that, their draws probably aren't the safest. So that's really the concern there, was 330, and that's across the board. It's known distance, so the speed is not quite the same as unknown.
Right.
And we can get into the argument, but
that's right.
We'll let that for the internet warriors.
Yep, that's right.
And so, yeah, that's anybody that has a bow that they're hunting with, they're shooting in their backyard, there's somewhere for them to shoot.
Great.
And so that's what we wanted to accomplish there. Change up the format for the shoot down, introduce some non-endemics to that sport through a fun party like that. And we're seeing that trickle over into the 2027 ASA season. So that's exciting. And and one of the reasons we want to talk to you, and I don't know that most people know this, you're going to be one of our commentators for the shootdown. So
Yep.
we're super excited to have you, because I can't think of a better person to be there doing that.
I appreciate it. I'm super honored. I can't wait to get up on the mic and talk about. Man, I may flip out a little bit, honestly, because I'm such a fan. There's no telling what, but we might have to have a bleeper on there or something, because I'll be so excited about it. Yeah, but I'm honored to do it. I'd be glad to, and maybe I can speak from both sides, because I am a fan, and I have shot for some podiums in the past. So yeah, I'm honored, man. I can't wait for it. I'm very, very appreciative of you thinking of me and about doing that. So I can't wait for that.
We're excited to have you. So one of the things is, you and I have talked quite a bit about this, but the hunting crowd way better than I do. So knowing what you know of the Bowhunter games, what questions do you think that come to mind for you, or that you think your audience and the people that your community that you're connected to would have?
Yeah, I think anytime, I try to tell people, even getting into competition archery, because that word competition, I was afraid of it when I first got into it. The first thing I thought when someone says competition archery, long before social media and Google, where you could look up that stuff, I always thought of flipping through a encyclopedia and seeing 100 guys in white suits on a line doing this. Yeah. I'm like, there's no way I'm doing that. Well, then I shot my first 3D, and it's basically 4 or 5 of your best friends going through the woods like a golf tournament, judging yardage or rangefinding now, and just hooping it up and having a good time. Right. No different than what guys do now when they get together each week and shoot, before hunting season to practice. Yeah. This is just a place where you can, rather than having 5 to 10 guys shoot the bull, you're going to be around thousands of like-minded, and you're going to get to share your stories. You're going to get to learn about new products. You're going to get to go have fun on professionally set targets. I mean, not just throw up the bag target in the backyard and hit the skull can top, because I've done a lot of that in my day, but you're going to get to shoot all these high-end 3D targets that most folks would never get to shoot, because one, you can afford them, whereas this way you can cruise through the woods. I would tell people, by all means, what's it going to hurt to go try? You're going to have a good time, because there's 110 vendors going to be there. You're going to get to see good music. You're going to get to see good shooting. And then once you've shot 5 or 10 arrows, trust me, everybody there, I'm looking in the camera, you're going to be hooked like a fish, period. You're going to be addicted to it. You're going to want to go to all of them. So, yeah, it's not going to hurt to show up there, put a quiver on your side, or a stool with the arrows in it, walk the course, go shoot it. You're not going to be in front of a crowd. Right. You're going to see the 4 or 5 folks you go out with. That's it. Yeah. Real non-pressure, big time. So please don't even think twice about it. If you've got one little inclination about going and celebrating, hey, I said it was a redneck pep rally, and that's what it's going to be. Yeah. Go out there and absorb it, because I promise you will be addicted once you've shot 2 or 3 targets, period. Yeah. You're going to see what it's all about, and you're not going to want to miss another event, period. But as far as questions, your first question, I got off on a tangent.
That's all right. That was a good one.
My passion was.
That's our sales pitch, right?
Yeah, that's right. So, I don't know what questions they'd have, other than basically what I told them. I'm telling you what if there was any doubts, they're going to have questions of, they're going to think that they're shooting in front of somebody, that it's an organized competition, and it is kind of like an ASA tournament, but it's not like an ASA tournament. There's just so many things to do and so many things to absorb. It's going to be right up your alley if you've been to string, period.
Yeah. If you like archery, it's the place to be. And that money class, the one thing I didn't hit, which is registration fee. Again, it's on bowhunter.games, the website. But if you're shooting the money class, $250 registration, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the lowest registration for any kind of prize money to the tune that we're talking. Yeah. But if you're just coming for the fun shoot, and this, I know there's some contention for the competitors. Why would we do it for fun? It's like, well, for the same reason I want to go golfing every weekend. Because it's fun. I'm never going to play in the PGA. Right. I don't even aspire to do that. Yeah. But it's fun. I go out, have a couple adult beverages with my buddies. We trash talk and compete against each other, and it's fun. Yeah. That's a $100 registration fee, and that includes everything. So that's Thursday morning at 8 o'clock till Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock. You can shoot all the targets, attend all the concerts. The only additional fee, there will be some novelty stuff. We're right beside Fort Campbell. So we're going to do some novelty stuff to raise some money for some of the initiatives that take place in Fort Campbell. We're actually having the military come in on Wednesday and doing just a day for them to come
And that's
in
for the
shoot.
concerts too.
For the concerts too. All inclusive for $100. The money class, excuse me, I've had people ask, you pay that $250. It's the same thing. So you can come in, shoot your round whenever that's scheduled throughout the day. And then you have access to all the other ranges. So you can attend the concerts, go shoot the other ranges with your buddies. Everything's included with either one of those passes, except for the distinction of competing.
Yeah.
And so, again, I would encourage people that maybe want to try competing, join the money class. With the registration fee that it is now, I say that we are closing registrations. That's different. I have to say that on air. ASAs, historically, you can register on site. With the way this is laying out, the numbers that we're looking at, we actually will fill probably the money class.
Yeah.
That we'll have a cutoff on that.
Yeah. And what is the amount? How many?
600 right now.
And that's women and men?
That's combined. Yep.
Yeah.
So Scott's over there cringing, and if we would have a waiting list that gets significantly bigger, we may talk, because one of the things, we don't have to follow the traditional formats. We've got some ideas of how we could accommodate a few more people if we need to.
Right.
So no registration on site, and that you'll get it when you register. You get a ticket sent to you, and it's color coordinated, whether it's money class or fun shoot. It'll have a QR code. You'll come in, scan it, you'll get a lanyard, and that'll be your all access pass for the weekends. Pretty simple.
Real simple and real affordable.
Yeah. And so, you said if you bend a string, and there's equipment bias will not be as the thing here. You'll still have your people. I got one of my new flagship bow. I joked around with somebody. My first hunting bow was a PSE, and I don't even remember the model. It was in the early 90s. And then, I got out archery hunting for a while and decided I wanted to get back in. So I just went to Bass Pro Shop and I bought a ready to hunt package, and it was a Bear Whitetail 2.
Yep.
And if I can find one of those between now and Clarksville, I've joked that that's what I'm going to set up and shoot for the weekend when I can go out in the ranges.
I've got one
shoot.
T-Bone's old bow. You can borrow it.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
You heard it. Scott's over there laughing.
I will say this. Make sure that you keep your teeth clenched, because if you don't, they're going to rattle out of your head.
That was a great bow to get started with.
Everybody had one.
I know. I wish I would have kept mine.
That's back when I only had about 8 bows to choose from versus 300 different bows to choose from now. But yeah.
Yeah, so I want to set one of those up and shoot that. So whatever you have, that's what we want. We want people to come out, be comfortable with it, and participate that way. So
yep,
we're really looking forward to what it'll do.
Yeah, I like to hear that you're having a lot of novelty shoots too, because those are always real popular. You're having long distance, hit the dot, or you can just stand there and just keep going and going and going. I've always been addicted to those things. Yeah. I'm like, I gotta get lucky at some point, but. And the steel targets and stuff like that, everybody likes to hear the little ding off in the faint, off in the distance.
The arrow manufacturers love that.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Hey, I might as well. I only have 3 arrows left. We know where you can buy more.
That's right. They make them always sleep.
Right, and there's archery shops going to be there, so there will be all kinds of stuff to look at. One of the things that, and I'm not sure I told you, I think I maybe gave you the concept of it, but on Friday evening we're going to do a team shoot, but it's going to be a little different. We're taking 12 of our celebrity shooters, and that may be a professional archer. I do know that the last medalists for USA Archery at an Olympics, both will be there. So Brady Ellison and Casey Kaufhold have both signed up in the money class. So it could be people like that. We got some hunting celebrities, and what we're going to do on Friday night is we're going to take those 12 celebrity shooters and we're going to silent auction. So buy your teammate. Like I talked to Paige, she's in on this.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do with that, we're going to use
Calcutta.
Yeah, and we're going to use that, so we'll have a Calcutta for some funding there, but also we're going to use the proceeds from that to go towards one of the benefits on Fort Campbell as well. So tying in our connection with Fort Campbell there, and we'll live stream that, and so that'll just be fun. We're going to build in those stories, the 8-year-old or the 88-year-old that wants to shoot with Paige Pierce, has followed her on social media forever, or wanted to shoot with their person they've watched growing up hunting, and so just adding different elements like that for stuff.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
So that'll be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to that. And so just
maybe even start the bidding, a week beforehand.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
These are the people.
Put them all out there, and we're going to silent auction off your teammate, and then they're going to shoot the actual shoot down course on Friday night. Concerts going on, and so that's one question that comes up: who are the artists? Scott asked me that when he picked me up at the airport this morning, but we don't know yet. So we've got several local contacts, but one of our non-endemic sponsors, which by the way, we're not shooting school lids, no free advertising.
Yeah.
If we're going to shoot lids, we'll shoot grizzly.
That's right.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
But we've had sponsors like, hey, we want to help with that. And the facility is split in half by 2 counties. So we're working with 2 separate municipalities. And the one mayor was really excited, and they do a big music festival. It's 35 minutes north of Nashville.
Yeah.
So
it's a great area. I love that area.
Super convenient. Nashville Airport's one of the best, and it's just centrally located.
Yeah, it's not a bad drive from anywhere in the Midwest.
No.
I mean, even up Pennsylvania way and all.
Yeah, no, if you're flying in, it's a great airport. If you're driving, it's super convenient. And so we've got several different entities working on the artists, and as soon as we have that solidified, we'll put that out. But
when you say artists, country music artists?
we're probably gonna do a little mix of everything.
Yeah.
Some Southern rock, some country music artists. So Nashville.
Yeah.
We've got a plethora of both that we can easily tap into. So, we're trying. The one guy was throwing out some just giant names, and I'm like, listen, we can't do that. My cost for security would go through the roof because we can't sell tickets just for that. I mean, it is an archery shoot, and we got parking problems. So I didn't think anybody would come in the room and try to big dog me, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, he threw out 2 names. Like, hold on, we're gonna have 100,000 people trying to show up for that. We can't do that. Yeah. So, but it'll be a good time in the evenings. We're gonna have cornhole. Probably some cold adult beverages going around. Maybe a private label ASA cold adult beverage being released and distributed there for the first time.
That's the rumor.
So yeah, it'll be a great time, and I'm super glad that you're gonna be a part of that.
Yeah,
I've really enjoyed talking to you about competition and hunting.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could talk the horns off a billy goat. If you want to go down another dirt road right now, I'm ready. So I just love it. I mean, I relive those days all the time. It's wonderful. It actually hurt my feelings because when we started Bone Collector and doing stuff with Realtree, my time was limited because I was still owning and running a store then, and I missed going to the shoots, and I wanted to do it all, and I couldn't do it. So yeah, I hated that. And then there for a long time, I would try to just show up at one. I would just go to at least one, and I wouldn't be competitive or anything like that. But man, I had a great time just seeing everybody, and I'd shoot especially down at Fort Benning because it's so close. I'd shoot the veterans shoot, where they had the soldiers that would shoot with us. That was always a great time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just love it. I mean, anything having to do with archery, and you see all these people snobby of, recurve shooters don't like compounds don't like crossbow. Man, I am so not that at all.
Yeah.
Period. I mean, period. Like, as long as it's legal, I mean, I support anything. I mean, if you want to hunt with a wrist rocket, if it's legal, I'm supportive of it. So I just wish more people would do that. Maybe with this, we can make that message known, because it's certainly opening it up to anybody that can fling an arrow.
Right.
Yeah. So that's awesome.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about when you come up your driveway, that range out there.
Yeah.
How do you utilize that? You have one of the most impressive backyard ranges I think I've seen.
Yeah. With more time on my hand and more time at the house, I bought a couple of ASA ranges actually. Yeah. You guys make the targets available after a shoot, and I bought a couple of ASA ranges. Got with my buddy Scott. Been friends with him for 30-something years, and we put the targets out there where I can roll up and down the driveway and shoot the targets. And every Thursday night we have a get together. We call it, started off as being called the Knockbusters group. But when we started off, the guys that would come over here, this is what I thought, and this will be a testament to the type of shoot that you're going to be having, for the Bowhunter games and such. But when I first started, these guys are, lawyers, doctors, engineers, they well drilling, just all kinds of different, but they're all hunters. Now I like to shoot a bow, so when they come over, I thought, well, we won't be shooting anything over 40. We'll set them real close. And then I had one target out there at 100, and I promise you, we shoot very seldom under 50. These guys, don't shoot that much and, haven't been to a competition, but man, they like watching an arrow fly at 100 yards. So yeah, we shoot a lot at that, which goes to show, like, it'll be an intimidating shot, that you may have at the Bowhunter games. It'd be 70, 80 yards, but once that person does that, they're going to be, hooked. It's well worth seeing that arrow splatter.
Whether you hit the target or not.
Exactly.
Just watching that flight.
And then when you did, you just hit a shot from half court, big time. So, so we have a great time. We called it knockbusters to begin with, but because we had those hard shots and tights to trees and stuff, a lot of trees get hit out there. So we changed the name of the group to Bark Busters. So we're busting bark out there now. So, if I did still have a retail shop here in my house, I would be smiling, because these guys go through a lot of arrows. They don't care. It's great. But we have a good time, and it's a good way for, everybody's in a stressful job, doctor, this, that, and the other, and they get to let their hair down. We're not going to bars around here. We come and shoot our bow, and we take turns buying dinner, and we usually sit down there till 12 or 1 o'clock. And I can't help but think, with us on a smaller scale, that's what Bowhunter games is going to be on such a larger scale. Same type scenario. You know how you like shooting with your buddies? You're just going to be doing it on a nationally designated spot that is offered to everybody. So we ordered a moose. Actually, the moose shipped yesterday. So I got a moose coming. It's 7.5 foot to the back. So I can't wait to. Probably my only chance to kill a Yukon moose, but we'll have it here in the yard.
That's fantastic. And that is the crowd that we were really marketing towards. That, and you said it, maybe I can only make one event a year. I mean, this is the one. If you get your buddies together, bring your families. Your wife, kids, they can come attend. It's Nashville. Dollywood's just down the road. Yep. And we're not charging for spectators. They come with an archer. They come on in. Yep. And so
stay an extra 2 days. Right. Come an extra day, 2 days early, and see everything in Nashville. It's a good way to check off a lot of boxes.
Ton of things to see. So make it that one event. One thing that you had asked about and we had talked about a little bit, and I think for the non-competitive crowd, it's an important piece of information. When you register, you're not going to get tee times. You don't have to pick, like, I'm going to shoot this time on Thursday, this time on Friday. What we're going to do, we're going to have people at every range. We're going to have screens inside the vendor area, and it'll list the ranges, and it'll tell you how difficult each range is, what the furthest yardage is on that range, and the current wait time. And that'll be updated live. We're going to have somebody sitting there just updating that screen. And so you maybe finish one course, come in and get lunch, and you're like, let's go shoot the Western range, or let's go shoot the Safari range. And it'll tell you how long the wait time is. You can head out to that range. We'll have people there helping get you get started. And so it's very much shoot as much as you can, as much as you want, or as little. Some people might just want to come out, see the vendors, go down and watch. You can go down and watch the pros while they're the money classes while they're shooting. So very, very laid back setting with hopefully enough organization and structure behind it. It keeps everything moving smoothly.
Yeah, at some point in time throughout the whole day, from daylight to dark, basically, there will be an opportunity to shoot your bow at something. Oh. No 3-hour waits, no 4-hour waits. No. Yeah, there's lots of stuff to shoot at, practice range and novelty shoots, and then plus you can kind of gauge where you need to go and what range you want to go. So that sounds like a fantastic plan.
And after the money classes finish, they're qualifying, we'll open those ranges up to the fun shoot as well. Yeah. So you can get down and try some of the shots that the money classes were competing on.
Oh, that would be neat.
So that's looking forward to that and what that'll bring. So I have one more question, and then if you have anything else. But so you've watched all the shoots. I know you watch Vegas and ASA and anything that's on there. If you had to pick, if I was going to say, Travis, you got $10,000 and you have to bet today, who are you betting on to win it?
To win the Bowhunter games?
To win the money class. And so we'll do open and female.
If it had to be today, probably put my money on Kyle Douglas. But, I mean, that's he's got probably the best odds as of right now from the way he's had such good luck so far. But, Lord, man, there's 15 other guys that could just nip him any times. Bodie hadn't shot a lot of the 3Ds and stuff. He's just getting his feet wet since he just graduated high school.
Right.
But he's going to be a mess to contend with. Levi, once he knows the yardage, we really haven't seen how good he can do.
Right.
Knowing the yardage, so that'd be one to look at. But there's so many.
If I'm not mistaken, Levi has won Reading. Did well at OPA. So I mean,
yeah,
when a guy can shoot like that when he doesn't know the yardage,
yeah.
I think he's going to be worse when he knows the yardage. Like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I say he doesn't know the yardage. Levi's. I've walked courses with him, and
he's a machine.
He's pretty dang good. At getting close
real
to that
good.
number.
Yeah, and then normally I would say Paige would be a contend with, but I know that she struggles hard with darkness and foliage, and her eyesight is not good and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't.
She's still a tough one.
Oh yeah. But it seems like Paige, when they had the known pro women, she dominated. But then these girls behind her are catching up very quickly. I mean, they're learning. Yeah, they're figuring it out big time. So. I don't know that I can pick just one. I mean, I'd like to do a little parlay, if you don't mind, where I could do like 4 or 5 in there.
Well, and then I mean, we're talking about the known entities in the pro class right now, but with this being open and different equipment, I mean, you know how some of these guys shoot in your yard. I mean,
oh yeah,
maybe some guy crawl out of a hole in Arkansas and show up and
I can see somebody like a Jimmy Butts, that's a dot shooter. That he would be a good one. George Riles could, he could. Yeah. I just think the old eyes was going to hurt us more than anything. It's going to be neat. But if you put a gun to my head, I'd probably pick Kyle Douglas now.
Yeah, it's hard to bet against him. I think another one that's interesting is Brady Ellison. Yeah. I mean, he started as a compound shooter.
No, he shoots it real well.
That guy can just shoot a bow.
Yeah,
and he hunts a ton, and so I think it'll be interesting. We'll see a bunch of people, and that's I think if you're on the fence of shooting the money class or coming for the fun thing, I mean, for $250, even if you don't think you have a chance to win, you'll be shooting with not just some of the best 3D archers in the world, some of the best archers in the world.
I would love to see them do a little bit of exhibition.
Yeah.
Like her and Casey, just to so that people could see how accurate and how good they are, because you're not you can't really tell that on TV. You see the target,
70
and you see
meters doesn't look that far on TV.
No, and then you don't have a peep sight.
Right.
Yeah, you're doing it with your fingers. You're strumming, looking at a dot. No magnification. So I'd love for them to do. I mean, maybe there's not time or a way to do that, but that'd be great to have.
We can make anything happen.
Yeah, that would be great for them to say, hey, if you want to see the Olympic archery demonstration, come watch Casey and them do that at 70 meters. And, because when the Olympics come, people are, I mean, you're all America. I mean, you want these people to be, like, golly, I want us to win a medal for sure on that. So, they need all the support they can get, because they don't get as much support from the United States is what people think. Yeah, it's not like other countries where they're paid handsomely to shoot tournaments. It's not that way here.
No, Casey, there was a video, it was 2 or 3 years ago. Lancaster always did that steel target challenge. Yeah. And Casey was out there shooting a recurve and walked over and shot and ended up beating all the guys with her recurve. I think it was a 100-yard shot. Yeah. And she was the only one to hit it. And so, the skill that those two have is crazy. And so that'll be on full, that kind of stuff will be on full display. And I think that's just one more reason to come out. Yeah. You don't have to be intimidated by it. You can go have fun, but just come out and admire how good the people at the top of the game really are. Exactly. In all facets of it too. Right. You may even get, a lot of recurve and traditional archers that could come out there too as well. That'd be great to have a traditional course too. We do. Yep. Yeah. Scott's put an area in that we'll have open. And of course, as with anything, so I said we'll have senior and kids ranges out to 30 yards. That if you come out there and you're a 12-year-old prodigy and you can shoot, as long as you can shoot a target from the stake we have, we can't walk up anywhere because of safety. Yeah. You're not limited to courses. So when I say we've got courses for trad and whether it's a traditional bare bow, whatever setup you have, we have ranges for that. But that doesn't mean you can't go and shoot. I mean, if you can shoot a 100-yard elk, or at least think want to try,
Yeah.
go shoot the Western range. You're
Absolutely.
not limited to those things. But
Yeah.
we did make sure that we had areas where people could participate if they can't make those long shots, or if they can't walk up the steep hills. We've got courses that will be relatively flat. So,
Yeah.
I think that was all the questions I had for you. Anything else you can think of with Bowhunter games?
No, I think I mean, between the ones I've asked and you just answered them with just talking, I think that's it. Again, I can't reiterate. I'm very honored that you thought of me to do that. I'm definitely honored and can't wait to be a part of it. So I can't wait to spit some magic at talking about archers and stuff like that. So
we're excited to have you, and so thankful that you were agreeable to do that.
Yeah.
I told you in October, I said, meet a lot of people. You're one of those guys I grew up watching on TV, and it's one of those things, for the people that haven't met you, one of those things you kind of like, do I actually want to meet him? Because what if I don't like the guy? And my whole teenage years are just ruined, right? And when I left here, I'm like, man, it's the same guy we watched on TV.
Yeah.
And it was just so much fun to get to know you, and so thankful that you're a part of it. For anybody watching this on ASA's channel that may not be familiar with you, where can they follow you and learn more about T-Bone?
Yeah, on all the social media channels, you can T-Bone Outdoors, and then of course, Realtree has a lot of stuff that we post and stuff, and then as well as Bone Collector. So if you want to learn a little bit more about me, you can go to those places, and then social media, Instagram, Facebook, T-Bone Outdoors, and you'll never know what we'll be posting, but you can learn a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah, and your stories. Anybody who just needs a pick-me-up each day with a good laugh, follow T-Bone, check out his stories. He finds the most random stuff and throws it up there.
Yeah, I need a hobby.
Yeah. But looking around, it seems like you have a few.
Yeah.
So make sure you follow T-Bone on his socials. If you're interested in to learn more about Bowhunter games, it's bowhunter.games. It's a website, super easy to remember. Or you can contact the ASA office. Our website's asaarchery.com. Phone number's on there. There's an email for info. So there's plenty of places to get information.
What are the dates?
The dates are August 20th to August 23rd. Yeah, that's good. I don't think we ever said that.
Yeah, I know.
So, August 20th to 23rd.
Clarksville, Tennessee.
Clarksville, Tennessee, Pine Ridge Farms. Joey and Melissa out there are probably the best hosts that we found. So, super excited. And, special shout out to them. So, August 20th, 23rd, we want to see everybody at Clarksville. I want to take a special moment and thank the sponsor of this video, Last Chance Archery. And Jonathan's the man behind the camera over there. So thanks so much for Last Chance for helping make this happen. We appreciate everybody and hope to see everybody in Clarksville.
Yeah, it sounds great, man. I can't wait. And Nashville's 35 minutes down the road.
Nashville, Broadway.
Yeah!
I think that's a perfect spot to end, Jonathan.